table, but the power don't show. Whispers in the dark, deals in the shade. Build from the fire, now the city's afraid. We don't bluff, we make the game. Every move sparks fear and fame. From the forge to the peak we grind. Mess with the best, get left behind. Yeah, the Syndicate runs this town. From the underground up we hold the crown. Stacking chips while they chase the fame. We write the rules, they just play the game. The Syndicate runs this town. Don't forget the name. You hear the clatter of chips? That's not luck. That's legacy. The Syndicate, cold blood, no doubt. We run this town, now fade out. The Syndicate, cold blood, no doubt. We run this town, now fade out. The Syndicate, cold blood, no doubt. We run this town, now fade out. The Syndicate, cold blood, no doubt. We run this town, now fade out. Yeah, the Syndicate runs this town. From the underground up we hold the crown. Stacking chips while they chase the fame. We write the rules, they just play the game. The Syndicate runs this town. Don't forget the name.
Justice Day or Judgment Day, however you want to call it. It is Dominion Run, game number 8. It is the final qualifier for the final table, with the Syndicate Poker Club shuffling up and dealing on this 2-table, 15, 16-player game going on tonight. Everybody is showing up. We've got stats we're going to show you live as everybody qualifies and gets ready for the final table. It is just going to be absolute mayhem because No Fold Frank has joined the gang. We are here, the Dominion Run, game number 8 of the Syndicate Poker Club, playing live over at PokerNow.club, a free-to-play poker site. This is a free-roll poker game in which no money is involved. So please do not, once again, YouTube, tell us that we are bad for children. We're good for children. We're teaching them math. This is math class. That's what this is, according to many of the players. We got 2 tables of action. Everybody's getting ready and running and going, as we've already shuffled up and dealt. But first, let's take a look at our first starting lineup for tonight and see who all is there. Not quite everybody is there, but almost everybody. We got Casely, we got Godly, Molly Mary, Freakchild, Neon 10 has joined the gang. Jam Rock and Roll, part of our usual suspects. Biggie Large, Marta, Quads is here. 4 King Ace Hole, of course. Millie, No Fold Frank has made it, as we said. Hail, hail, the gang's all here, or however that song goes by Jerry Reed, right? There we go. So who's at what table? We've also got a whole bunch of other players sitting there. We'll introduce you to the leaderboard here shortly as we get rolling. We're over at table 1. Who's over there? We got Freakchild, Leary Alice, No Fold Frank, Godly, Biggie Large Fool, 4 King Ace Hole, Molly Mary in the house, and Casely all sitting over here at table 1. with Ace Jack 4-3 all sitting on this table. Syndicate game number 8 of the Dominion Run series. One of 7 series that are getting ready to wrap up this week. We'll also give you the schedule of what's going on this week. Make sure to like, subscribe, click the bell, or whatever the hell it is you're supposed to do in order to get more notifications about our broadcast with the Syndicate Poker Club, especially for the Chase series, because that's when we have a lot of fun. It's more than just poker. It's fun and games. Until somebody gets their eye poked out. Then it's just fun. So there we are. All right, let's take a peek at, as we said, we've got 2 tables of action playing tonight. Let's take a quick peek. Whoops, no, over at table 2. Where we've got Quadzilla, Millie. Where were we at? Quadzilla, Millie, Marta, Jam Rock and Roll, JP 2020. He's thrown his hat in a ring tonight. Neon 10. Back for some more abuse. And Boss. Ready to get bossy with it tonight. With a very wet board on this hand that we're watching over here, table 2. The first one we're whatever we're doing, tuning into it. 2 kings on the board. We got a queen and a 7. We got a queen, 7, king of diamonds, a king of hearts, and a 5 of spades. Boss, Millie, and Quads going at this one, checking it out for a free showdown. 2 pair from Quadzilla will take that down. Kings over queens. Boss having the ace 10 with that one. And that's about where we sit tonight. We are playing No Limit Texas Hold'em the whole way through. The Dominion Run is a grinder series. The blinds start out at 10-20. They progress up 10-20 every 10 minutes. Blind bets are forced bets on the players to the left of the dealer, or the dealer button as it's called. Those blind bets are 10 for a small blind, 20, which is double the small blind, to the big blind person. In this case, what you're watching, JP 2020 in the big blind. Then the cards are dealt 2 cards face down to every player. Then the betting continues. The next player to the left of the big blind then has an option to either call, raise, or fold the forced 20 chip bet. And that goes around the table where everybody can raise, check, fold, or sorry, raise, fold, raise or fold, raise, call, or fold, blah, blah, blah. And then when it gets back around, if nobody's raised it to the person who was in the big blind, they have the option to check or raise. Check means they just leave their big blind bet. And we see the 3 community cards come out on the board, as we're probably about to see here with Jam Rock and Roll in the big blind. Timing out, so that will be an automatic check. We now check with 3 community cards on the board. Those 3 cards can be used by any of the players in order to make the best 5-card hand. All players use all 3 of those cards. Or maybe not even any of them. You never know. But you still have to have 5 cards in order to make a hand. Anyway, a round of betting goes around. Then the 4th card comes out on the community board. That's known as the turn. Another round of betting. And then the river, as you see here, an ace of diamonds, giving Jam Rock 2 pair aces over 10s. And that's about the simplistic way of how the game of No Limit Texas Hold'em is played. Players can go all in with all their chips at any time throughout the game. They have to bet at least the minimum bet, which is the big blind. And if somebody bets something other than that, then it has to be matched to that blind, or to that bet, as a minimum raise from there on out. So as the game progresses, you guys will see everybody starting to raise their bets, and we will start seeing chips flying like, well, like Poker Cat, flying around in the litter box, litter everywhere. Get the damn dustbuster out, unplug it from the wall. If you're an 80s kid, you probably remember those. And clean that shit up. God damn. Speaking of cleaning up, what a dirty board we got sitting here. 4, 9, 7 of spades, 2 of hearts. JP, 55 to go. Over to Jamrock. Millie, 55. Will call. Everybody staying in this hand with the 2 of clubs. They got ripped off, just like going shopping at Walmart. Checked around. And 2 pair for Millie to take that one down with the 2 nines and nines over deuces, and the king being the kicker on that hand. So that's how things are shaping up over there at table 2. Let's go check back in with table 1. What's shaking over there, Casely? Who's in the action? Everybody limping in at this point, as it's called, going for the minimal. Everybody taking their time, biding their time to see what ends up happening here. 5, queen, 8. This is a rainbow flop, as we call it. One of each suit. 1 diamond, 1 heart, 1 spade. Now we have another spade. It's a 2. Biggie Large goes 50 on that 2. Turn those sound effects up for you so it's not so boring for you guys. We finally got the audio boards running. We got everything dialed up so we can give you stupid sound effects like click, click, and fold. And we also have other sound effects all lined up for you, including this one.
Your poor balls. All dry, empty, and sad.
And and things like this. So there you are. The Dominion Run, game number 8 of the Syndicate Poker Club, playing live free poker over at PokerNow.club. You too can play free poker over at PokerNow.club. No sign-ups required. You can just grab a table, get your friends over to that link, and boom, you guys can all sit at one little table, play some free poker, and have lunch. You don't have to break out the cards or anything. The chips are all supplied, the table's supplied, the cards are there. All you got to do is just make a table and go. You don't even have to sign up. And beyond that, you can sign up. Get an account. Get into the sit and goes and the heads up tournaments that the players play over at PokerNow.club. Or you can also get a subscription there for their Plus program. Gives you avatars. Nothing big about that. Just gives you added content, nothing more. No money ever involved in any of the poker games that you see with the Syndicate Poker Club. At least not yet. Ace 6-5 comes out on the board. It's a 5 and a 6 of diamonds. It's an 8 of hearts. Biggie Large still at it with No Fold Frank, Larry Allison, Molly Mary. Molly Mary getting a big chunk of change taken out of her. 4 King Ace hole with a almost doubled up his stack already over here at table 1. And we will take a peek at the leaderboard here real quick at the end of this hand. 2 hearts comes out on the river. 20 to go. Big bet from Larry Alice gets Molly Mary to fold on that one. And nothing shaking there. Here's our leaderboard for the Dominion Run, game number 8. 4 King Ace hole sitting in first. Pretty right now. Doubled up over second place, Quadzilla. Everybody else kind of sitting about even with where they started. That's your top 10 leaderboards so far for this game. Biggie Large sitting in 4th. 5th for No Fold Frank. Freakchild 6th. Millie's down in 7th. Everybody else kind of, like we said, hanging on to their chips right now at both tables. We got 15 players, I believe, at the table so far. 2 tables of action tonight. And once again, this is game number 8 of the Syndicate Poker Club's Dominion Run series, one of 7 different game series that are running with the Syndicate right now. All vying to get some extra points and win some stuff before the end of the year. As they're all vying for Player of the Year with the Syndicate Poker Club. Freakchild betting $1.60 over to Casely with a Jack 5 on the board. Rainbowed. Jack King 5 on the board, sorry. Biggie Large going, no thank you. Everybody betting out of that one. And we will head off to the other hands. 2040, the blinds have gone up. We're through the first 10 minutes of the game. Another 40 to go over to Godley. Frank raised that up to another 40. 748 on the board here, dialed out to all the players on the community cards. 80 to go. Doubled up by Frank at $1.60. Casely will go with it. And everybody else will stick around for another card. It's a 6 of spades to go along with the 4 and 7 of spades. 8 of clubs hanging out there by itself. Feeling kind of lonely and sad. Being the only club out there. 1,000 to go, says Frank. Over to Casely. Action sounds coming from the other table. We'll get over there here in a second. Check out what's going on at table 2. Casely having a good think. Decides to fold out. Biggie Large folds out. And so does Godley. Frank will take that one down. 2 pair. Just a high card for Godley. Would have been chasing the flush on that one. And they're out of there. So now that we're done taking a peek at table 1, let's take a peek at table 2 one more time. And then we'll take a break from the mic, and I will introduce you to something else here in just a moment. As we have a 9-8, deuce 5-8. A lot of little action. No face cards on this board. 200 to go, says Millie. Over to Boss. Boss will fold out of that one. Neon's gone. JP making a rare appearance with the Syndicate tonight. Part of the Syndicate roster, though. Millie will take that one down. No effort. So there we are. The Dominion run, just to let you guys know, if you can read that, there with PokerCat, explaining the rules of how the leaderboard system works for the entire system. The format is Texas no limit Texas Hold'em poker. Say that 10 times fast. Players all start with 5,000 chips in the qualifier rounds. The blinds start at 10-20, going up 10-20 every 10 minutes, and then also progress from there as the blind structures are set in stone. Series leaderboard is what you see there in front of you right now with Marta, Quadzilla, Lyrialis, Casely. This is all in order, by the way, from 1st to 10th. Your one's in blue and your one's in red. You might be asking, well, why is that? Why is that, Mr. Voice of Mystery? Well, the reason that is because those names in blue, those are where the qualifiers will be for the final table for next week's game. And those will be updated live as people get knocked out of the game tonight. So keep an eye on that. We'll keep bringing you up to date on the top 10 leaders for the series so you can see by the end of the game who is and who is not going to be making it into the final table. That will be a live update for you, a new feature here on the Syndicate Poker Club broadcasts, live on YouTube, being played live on PokerNow.club. And there you go. With that, we will leave you with a little bit of music and enjoy the game. I will be back in uno momento.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a wild new crew that started on a gaming trip with chaos breaking through. Freak Child was the fearless lead, 4K brought the style. Vixen's moves were sharp and smooth, they played for quite a while. The weather started getting rough, the server lost its chill. If not for the code of the Syndicate, they crash against their will. Syndicate Island, they were born in the game. Built this world from code and grit.
have Molly Mary going all in. We have a caller over here at table 1. Biggie Large has called Molly Mary's all in. We're over at Freak Child now. He will fold out. Casely, another 7-11 to go on that one. Goes even further all in over the top. Or sorry, not all in, but went over the top on that one. 9-3 diamonds, and now we have double all in. Molly Mary and Biggie Large, both all in. Both will be out right there off the... Wow. A double knockout from Casely with the pocket 10s over an ace-4 and pocket 5s. And we have lost our first two players. Biggie Large and Molly Mary heading out. With the chip stacks the way that they were sitting, Molly Mary went out 15th. Biggie Large went out 14th. So that's where that will be sitting for now. Well, we had a little bit of extra work that we had to do there, getting some leaderboard shit figured out. Wow. That was a little exciting there. Casely taking a humongous early lead in Syndicate, game number 8 of the Dominion Run, a free-to-play poker series, free-to-play poker game. We're over back at table number 2. Taking a peek at what's going on over there. We still got Boss Neon, JP's in the house, Jam Rock and Roll, Marta, Millie, and Quadzilla all still here. Neon going to $1.35 pre-flop on this one with blinds at 30-60. Millie calling in, and that will Give us a flop. Jack 8-7. It's rainbowed up with an ace of clubs. Checked out. 60 to go. Millie will call it. 9 of hearts comes on the river. 120 from Millie, going on the aggressive, getting Neon to fold. King 10 with the straight. Millie will take some chips and add that to her stack. Along with us finding out where exactly everybody's stack currently is sitting, believe it or not. Three, 5 deuce on this flop. Quadzilla checks it out. Bring back our table sound effects here. $225 to go from Marta. Millie will play along on this one. Over to Boss. Boss will fold out. 2 1/4 to go for Jam Rock and Roll, the old man. And Jammer will pop out of there. 7 of diamonds comes on the turn. And a Jack of diamonds comes on the river. Diamond heavy board does not flush out. Only a pair from Marta, the pair 5s. Little tiny pairs sitting out there. Didn't go anywhere. There you are. Even with Casely's big win there, knocking it with the 2 knockouts there, she is not quite in the chip lead, but hanging right behind Forking Ace Hole. Was sitting pretty for a minute there until that. Casely now sitting second. Forking Ace Hole taking first right now. Godly third. Millie fourth. No Fold Frank sitting in fifth. Jammers in sixth right now. And Leary Alice and Boss just traded places live on the screen there. As chip stacks are moving around on Dominion Run game number 8. Syndicate Poker Club at syndicatepokerclub.com with a 5-4-6 on the board, rainbowed up, a club of a club of spade and a heart. 6 of heart is your big card on the table. 157 to go from Marta. Over to Jam Rock, who will fold out. Marta, the ninja. Not going to be divulging any information on that one. For Jack 9 of diamonds. 4 clubs comes out. Jammer, Marta, and Millie still in the hand here. Checking it out with the John Malkovich all the way around. John Malkovich, check all day long, as Teddy KGB from the movie Rounders. A poker movie you can watch if you really want to, or if you haven't already. And if you're a poker player, you've probably watched that movie about 3 million times, and you can probably quote it line for line, as most poker players can, along with what, Shade, Ocean's 11, any number of the poker movies out there. Molly's Game. And 2 pair will take that one down for Miss Millie, holding on to that one. So that's where we are at now. Let's go take a peek at our short table. That's a short table now. But not nearly that short, because this was the heavy table originally. Table 1. Where they've got an 8 Jack 9 of diamonds, and an 8 of clubs on the flop. Blind still sitting at 30-60. at least for the next minute. 60 to go, says Casely. Frank will play along with this one. A deuce comes out on the board with a heart attached to it. And another 9 to pair up the boards. And they check it out. Casely will take that one down with just the kickers to do that one. The kickers doing their job, basically. Making sure that the hand gets one. So that's where we're at. Let's take a peek at our current active leaderboard as to what's happened. Not much. Molly Mary, even getting knocked out, currently still safe in the blue zone. That is a little hard to read. We might have to change the colors on that one for you all. I don't think we can. I think those are hardwired in. Anyway, Molly Mary is safe. Biggie Large barely safe. But with them getting knocked out, the players that are still active can get a humongous amount of points, as there are 15 players in this game tonight. So depending on where players get knocked out, we had a very tight board point-wise going in here. So it very quite possibly can change in an instant. Especially with No Fold Frank, 4-King Ace, and Millie all still in the game currently, besides the other players that are down below there. So we will see what exactly happens with the active leaderboard as to who's going to make the final table for next week of the Dominion Run. Casely getting that one with no effort. Everybody folding out shit cards apparently for everybody. Nothing happening there. So as soon as there's no excitement at table 1, let's go back to table 2. See what's shaking over there. 40-80 are our blinds. They have just gone back up again, as we have a 10-9 king all clubbed. And now a queen of clubs comes. This is dangerous ground right here. 160 to go, says Marta. Millie's sticking with it. A jack comes. That completes a straight. But those clubs sitting out there are dangerous right now. Marta in the hot seat. Action on Marta. Checks it over to Millie. Millie's going to pop an 80 out. Feeler bet. There's your flush. It was not a straight flush. So close. Millie just throwing out that feeler bet. Marta just kind of going with it. That was dangerous ground because that 7 may not have held. A lot of high cards out there, but a 7, there was still some space there to be beat. It's a good play by both. A little conservative. Protecting themselves. $40.80 are the blinds. Neon will take all of the blinds, and we'll run away with that. JP 2020 offline or away. $160, says Jamrock, raising it up, double the big blind. Quadzilla will sit along with it. Boss in the action will not see the extra 80. 7 of clubs, jack of spades, ace of spades comes up. Quadzilla checks it to Jammer, who bets, and that will get the fold. As Jammer will take that one down pretty simply. Got a break coming up here in about 20 minutes, so we will see about another 2 more blind levels before we go into a little commercial pee break, so to speak. For those of you just first tuning in to the Syndicate broadcast here, make sure to like, subscribe, tell your friends how horrible it is to listen to my voice for 2.5 hours. 8-9 jack. Rainbowed up, comes out on the flop. 8 of diamonds, jack of spades, 9 of clubs. Check by boss over to Neon, who goes for 80. Millie will get out of the way. Boss sticking with it. We see another jack to pair the board. It's a jack of diamonds. So 2 diamonds on the board now. 80 to go, says Neon again. And they pay for a deuce of clubs. I'm sure that was just humongous help to both players. Check by Boss. 420 to go, says Neon. And Boss will get out of the way on that deuce. King 10. Just a little baby action going on there. And if this mic cord sticks to my arm one more time, I'm going to scream. As we are off to yet another hand here with table number 2. Neon in the small blind will not limp in for the extra 40. King 8. King and 8 of hearts. King of spades comes out. 95 to go, says JP. Only 280 in the pot. Interesting bet. 7 of clubs comes out. Both players check, JP and Marta. With another king, we trip up the board. 95, says JP. Might be a lucky number superstition thing. Had the 8. So did Neon to fulfill the full house requirements on that one. But could not get the action. So we'll take a peek at what's going on here with the entire field. Molly Mary and Biggie Large going out early and quick together in the same hand. So that will put them in slight danger of not making the final table, as most of the players that are sitting in the red are still playing and are actively in the game. Head back over to table 2 here, see what's going on. We got a pair of 5s on the board with a queen of hearts. Oh, 2 pair of aces over 5s for JP. We'll take that one down. And that's what we had going on there. So with that, we'll pop back over to table 1 and get a sneak peek at nothing as we get into a new hand. Blind still at 40-80. 4 King Ace-Hole on the button. Leary Alice and Freak Child getting out of the way. Casely will play along. 40 extra to go to Godly to limp in. Frank on the option. We'll check it out. 7 hearts, king of clubs, 9 of diamonds. 80 to go, says Casely. No free turn for you. Godly says, whoa, if we're going to pay that much, let's pay some more, and triples it up. And Casely, possible feeler bet with a pair of 9s. Gets out of the way with the overcard king, scaring her out of that one possibly. Take a peek at our chip, pardon me, our chip leaderboard as it sits right now. Casely has now sneaked up into the first place position, just barely, over 4 King Ace-Hole. Both sitting over 9,000 chips. And then bringing up third place, Quadzilla, still only at 65. Godly right behind that with only 64. No Fold Frank, Millie, Leary Alice, Marta, Jammer, and Neon. All sitting about starting point, a little bit less. Everybody starts with 5,000 in chips, so that gives you a little bit of a idea of where everybody is at right now from where they started. Ace Deuce of Hearts, 9 of diamonds. Jack of Clubs comes. Getting checked around by all the players here. And a free 6 of spades comes. All the players checking out until it gets to Casely, who goes 240. Leary Alice, Freak Child, both getting out of the way of that one. And Casely will take it with the Snowmen. Pocket eights. And keep those pocket eights in mind. Coming in the 2026 season, the Winter Classic. Along with snow and snowmen and all sorts of crazy ass shit that's going to be happening with the Syndicate Poker Club in 2026. Syndicate Poker Club swag, more games, more broadcasts, more music. 5-10, 6. 5-10 of clubs, a 6 of hearts. Leary Alice saying 300 is what it's worth. Forking Ace-Hole says no. It is not worth that. And Frank thinks it's worth more. 850 to go. Another 550 to go to Leary Alice. Pretty much betting the pot on that one. A little more than the pot there. I think that's a half pot bet right there. Leary Alice having a good think about this one. Thinking about 3 of a kind already sitting out there. Pocket pairs? Will we find out? We will not. We will not. So there you are. Leary Alice, by the way. Best PokerNow season sit and go ranking 13th. Syndicate overall currently sitting 10th. Was the first winner of a Syndicate series with the Syndicate Poker Club, taking the Summer Series 2025 title at a final table after battling it out for the first 8-game qualifiers with the Syndicate. Series game 1, 2 so far, but even though she's only won 2 series games, still hanging tight with a bracelet and pretty high up on the Syndicate leaderboard as well. So you don't have to win them all. You just have to be consistent. Because when you get into being a professional poker player, think about this. It's not about the wins. It's about the earnings. That's how they play it, right? 4 clubs comes out. Wow, what a killer card there. Actually, with that board, it might be. Casely goes 600. Godly folds that one out. And we are done with that. So there we go. We're going to switch over to table 2 real quick. See what's shaking over there. Nobody on the cliffhangers yet. Although they are starting to get there slowly but surely, dwindling down. As our chip stack leads have finally increased over the 10,000 mark for Casely. Forking Ace-Hole's dropped a few, down to 86. And everybody else still sitting about beginning even right now. So Casely's starting to take a commanding lead in game number 8 of the Dominion run with the Syndicate Poker Club. Free poker for everybody over at PokerNow.club, a free-to-play poker site. And the Syndicate Poker Club playing for free, but also playing for real at the same time. And when we say playing for free, but playing for real, meaning they really actually play the game to win it. Instead of just playing donkey-ass poker, as it's known. So there you are. 5,100 are the blinds now. They have gone up yet again. 250 to go, says Quadzilla over here at table 2. Boss is out. Neon has the action. Gets out of the way. Over to Jammer. And Jammer will see this flop. 2 Queen 5. Queen 5 of hearts. And a deuce of clubs. 250 to go. Jammer will stick with it. A jack of clubs comes on the turn. So now we got 2 hearts, 2 clubs on the board. 500 says Jam Rock and Roll. And Jam Rock and Roll will take that one down as well. Trying to dial him up here. Just give me 1 second, folks. Got to find him with his big giant beard. And there he is. Jam Rock and Roll likes some Hold'em Hills out of Australia. He's 68 years old. A young 68 years old. Syndicate overall ranking is 7th currently right now. But as these series start to wrap up, we will probably see a lot of these numbers change from tonight. So there you are. Heading over to table 1. Table 1, a royal flush from Freakchild. Slow playing it, looking for more action possibly. I don't know what the hell's going on over there. We tuned into that one just barely in time. 5-9 of clubs comes. Clubs are apparently hot over at table 1. 6 of hearts comes along, or sorry, there's a 6 of heart on that as well. Didn't come. It just, and if it did, that was gross. 5,100 the blinds. Frank says no. We're gonna start seeing these for a little bit more money, folks. A little bit more chips action. I gotta really watch that language apparently, or they're gonna. You're not safe for children. You tell people to gamble. We don't tell people to gamble. We just tell people to play card games. 9-5-5 comes on the board. A 9 and 5 of diamonds, a 5 of clubs. Now a 4 of clubs comes on the turn as both players check it out, and I got to catch up and I got to talk fast. And we're checking it out with an 8 of clubs on the river. And no fault, Frank will take that with the ace king kicker. Just a pair of 5s. Everybody remember the fastest talking man in the world? I do. Who cares? Anyway, we will be back in just a moment. Everybody enjoy the action. And we will be back with you here shortly.
This one's for the grinders, the ghosts of bankrolls past, and everyone who's ever lost to a guy named Ricky, holding 6-9 offsuit on a prayer.
I had the nuts on the turn, felt like a king, counting my chips, hearing the angels sing. He called my shove like he couldn't care less, said let's see what happens, oh no this fucking ass. Board paired the river, my soul took a hit, he slow rolled me quads while eating Cool Ranch chips. Down by the river of tears, where dreams drown deep and love disappears. These stupid fuckers floating down the river, sitting on the toilet and then they flush. I played it right, but fate interferes. Now I'm floating alone on a river of tears. Another day, another dollar lost. Flopped a straight thought, I'll show him who's boss. He called with 2 pair, weak as can be. Then the board paired up naturally. He fist bumped the guy in a Scooby-Doo hat while I stared at the felt flat on my back. Down by the river of tears, where dreams drown deep and love disappears. These stupid fuckers floating down the river, sitting on the toilet and then they flush. I played it right, but fate interferes. Now I'm floating alone on a river of tears. I once believed in math, in discipline, in range, but now I believe in bad beats and emotional change. They say variance, I say witchcraft. They say don't tilt, I say laugh on my behalf.
We're back. The Dominion Run, game number 8. The final qualifier for the Dominion Run series being played by the Syndicate Poker Club at syndicatepokerclub.com. Or you can check them out at where they play. They're free to play poker. PokerNow.club, a free to play poker site, free to play poker client, however you want to look at it. We're over here at table number 2, where we've got 2 kings on the board. Jam Rock and Roll getting the 3-of-a-kind kings. And that is where we are at. King 5 comes out on the board. King 5 of spades. The other king is a diamond. Got 150 to go from Quadzilla on this one. He says it's worth a lot. Marta and Millie say they'll take a peek for another card. There's another spade on the board. It's a queen. 300 to go from Quadzilla on this one. $300 to go. And Marta folds it out. Millie's out, and that's enough to take that one down. Quadzilla not divulging any info on that hand either. Speaking of Quadzilla, let's take a peek. He hails from the United States somewhere. He's finally got 4 series games won under his belt. Finished second in the face-off heads-up series tournament. Lost to Vixen in a double elimination final playoff round. Won the first one, lost the second one, so ended up in second on that one. Almost got there. So when everybody was making fun of him, saying he was just, well, actually, he started it himself, just to give some backstory on this one. By the way, he's sitting Syndicate overall 13th. Just to give some backstory on this one, don't forget, Quadzilla actually was the one calling himself a bridesmaid because he kept coming in second in all the games that week. And so everybody was going to call him the Bridesmaidzilla is what they were going to start calling him. So let that be known. Blinds are up to 75, 150. Things are going to start getting interesting now, as we still have 13 players left in Dominion Run, game number 8. We could be up all night. I don't remember the lyrics to that song, do you? No, of course you don't. You don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. It is me again. 150. Neon says 543 to go. Jam Rock and Roll will play along to see this flop. So will Marta. We got a slightly expensive flop going here. Boss doesn't want to see it. Jack 9 King. It is Rainbow. Jack of Hearts, 9 of Diamonds, King of Spades comes out. $17.79 says what we need to go with on Neon says we need to go with. Jammer getting into the battle mode here. Or sorry, Neon getting into battle mode here. Bets the entire pot over to Marta in the action. Jack 9 King on the board, rainbowed. And that's enough to get everybody to fold out. King Queen shown with a Jack King from Neon. Was it worth it or was it not? Nobody knows for sure. But everybody will live to see another hand for another day. $868 comes on the board over here at table 2. Everybody's going with the 300. 6 of clubs comes out on the river, or the turn, excuse me. So now we've got 2 pair on the board, 8s over 6s, 2 hearts, 2 clubs. And an ace of diamonds comes out. Quadzilla will take that one down.
It's a party, all right.
Hey, we got to run something every once in a while to get you guys woken up and laughing out there. Hey, right? The Dominion Run, game number 8, with the poker, with the whoever we are. Hey, it's a bunch of people playing cards. Here we go. Let's go over back to table number 1. Still got Leary Ellis, Freak Child, Case Lee, Forking Acel, Godly, No Fold Frank, all still alive at table 1 here. All still very much alive. Nobody is sitting in the danger zone as of yet with our leaderboard. Definitely have a few players taking some leads away from other players at this point. Casely up in first still. Godly sitting in second. Quadzilla third. No Fold Frank, Neon, Marta, Freak Child, Jam Rock and Roll, Millie, and then Leary Alice in 10th. JP, Forking Acehole sitting down underneath the screen there in 11th and 12th. Boss is sitting 13th currently. Everybody's still in there. 13 players to go in game number 8 as we continue to watch the action over here at table 1. Forking Acel says 750 to go. Nobody playing along except for the Freak Child. Queen 3 Jack comes out. Big bet from Forking Acehole. Freak Child will fold that one out. Forking Acehole maybe playing aggressive to build back better. Blinds at 75, 150. Godly and No Fold Frank going heads up on this one with a 5-7 deuce. A hearts, all hearts on the board. $1.50 and another heart. It's a 9. And we have hearts on the board. And the board will play. Both players suck. As we technically have. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we do have it. We have, because the board played, Chop Suey, Chop Pot. It happens. It's rare sometimes, but it does happen. The board ends up playing and is the best 5 cards in the hands. So the players will split that pot. We're off to another one here. Freak Child is folded out pre-flop on this one. $1.50 to go to everybody. Leary Alice will check the option with a King 3-9 comes out on the flop. Rainbowed. Now we got a pair of 9s sitting on the board as 9 of spades comes up on the turn. No Fold Frank checks it over to Casely. Casely goes 600. And Frank will stick around with that one and calls it with a deuce of spades coming out on the river. Frank in the action. $6.50 to go, says Frank. And Casely says it's well worth it with King Queen. 2 pair. Kings over 9s with a Queen. Kings over 9s with a 5 for No Fold Frank. And that will take us to the break. of Game 8 of the Dominion Run right here on YouTube. The Syndicate Poker Club playing live free poker over at PokerNow.club. And we will be back momentarily. Hang tight.
The blinds march higher, relentless cold. Every hand a battle, every chip is gold. Breath held tight when the river comes, but the turn decides how the war is won. Sacrifice, every raise a scar. Dreams hang heavy where the champions are. One by one, the strong fall undone. The road is endless and the Dominion run. Miles of hands, the war goes on. Steel against steel till the break of dawn. Through the silence, through the storm we run. Glory awaits in the Dominion. The grind is eternal. The Dominion never ends.
And with that, we are back right on cue. How about that? We're here. Dominion Run, game number 8. The final qualifier of the Syndicate Poker Club's 8-game series, an 8-game qualifying series to get them to the final table. One of 7 that are going on here. Both tables are back. We have lost 2 players. We've lost Biggie Large and Molly Mary early in the game. And we have a flop already dealt out over at table 1, so we will go take a peek at what's going on over there. Casely folds out. Oh, Freakchild flopping a boat. 4's full of 3s there. That was a big blind special, to say the least. So big action happening already over there at table 1. Table 2's got a nice little yuck board sitting here. I don't know what to think about that one.
It's a party, all right.
All right, well, whatever you want to call it. Pardon me. Neon will take that one down without a showdown. As we pop into another hand. Blinds are back up again, another level, up to 100, 200. The forced blinds before any cards are dealt out. Millie will see this one. Quadzilla's sitting it out. Boss will get out of the way. JP's in. Jammer will check the option. Queen 4-7 comes on the board. It is rainbowed up. A queen of clubs, 4 of diamonds, 7 of hearts. 750 to go, says Marta, getting aggressive on it. Over to Millie, who's in the action. Now it's over to Neon. And everybody folding out on that bet. As we go on to the next hand. 100, 200 to Jam, Rock, and Roll and Marta. Sitting on the big and small blinds, respectively. Over to Boss, who's in the action. Calls it. Neon's out. JP, no thanks. An extra 100 to Jam, Rock, and Roll. And 1,000 to go, says Marta, so it's 800 more now. Nine, ace, 7. Rainbowed up. Ace of clubs, 9 of hearts, 7 of diamonds. Both players check. Marta and Boss going heads up on this one. And the 7 of spades comes out on the river. Marta and Boss battling this one out. And Marta will take that one down with the pocket rockets. Full boat. Ace is full of 7s. Dangerous hand there for everybody. Ain't no doubt. Neon in the action here. As we get into hand 77 at table 2. Both tables always at different hands because they're always playing different speeds. And once these guys quit putting in action I have to call, then I can show you something on the screen here. 600 go, says Marta, and the only one that wants to play along with Marta is Neon. Queen, king of spade, or clubs, ace, 8 of diamonds. Now 6 of diamonds comes out. Marta says 600 to go. And a 7 of clubs rounds it out on the river. 36-46, all in from Neon. Marta having a good think about this one. This could be a huge pot right here. No, Marta's not going to go with the big slick. And there is your flush right there from Neon, taking that one down. So it's a good fold by Marta over here at table 2. Rocking it out with their socks out. Yeah, you heard me. I said it right. All right. Over at table 1, no fold Frank, Leary Ellis, Freak Child, Case Lee, 4 King Ace, Old Godly. Still going at it. Everybody's still sticking around their starting stacks roughly. Nobody going completely ape shit yet. Or at least so it appears. No fold Frank will take that one down with his suited 10 queen. Casely in the small blind will limp in. 4 King Ace will checking the option. Queen 7 of clubs, 10 of diamonds. Nobody wants to play with Casely on her little bet. Trying to be nice, but nope. No takers on that one. Leaderboard, sir, currently sitting. Casely in first at 12-1. Godly still in second. Not too far behind at 9,000. Another 9,000 over at the other table with Neon at table 2. Marta bringing up fourth. 4 King Ace hole worked his way back up to fifth now. Sitting at 6,400, 6,450 pretty much. And then Millie Jammer, quads, Freak Child, no fold Frank rounding out the top 10. Boss and JP now sitting in the danger zone, as it were. So hopefully things can hold off over at table 2 here for just a second, and then we will switch over there with the 10 of spades coming on the river on this one. Interesting board. 900 to go, so go, says Frank. Godly goes all in over the top big time. Way big bet. Frank will call it. Godly gets the straight. Playing higher than Frank. And Frank will actually be the one that we see go out, who was not in the danger zone. But with that, no fold Frank will take a seat in the lounge. And Godly will take a little bit more of the chips here to pad those pockets over there. So now we're back over here to table 2. Boss has also been knocked out just after Frank. So Frank will finish in 13th. Boss will finish in 12th. JP still alive, but still sitting in the danger zone. But not nearly as much. 2,700 now with this bet here in this hand. So it's getting interesting. Players we did not expect to see exit early are getting out of the game. I don't know. Did somebody fart? I just don't know. I don't know what's going on here. But that is the most unexpected exit. I was not expecting these to, these three to go out already. $100, $200 to go. Everybody's folding out. No limp in from JP. Jammer on the option here. 10-3-9 comes out. Millie will stick around here. 10-9 of hearts. 3 of diamonds on the board. Ace of diamonds comes on the turn. Jammer checking it to Millie, who checks it down for a free. King of diamonds on the river. Jam, rock, and roll. Having a sip of scotch while he thinks this one out through. Quite possibly. And that's going to be auto-checked over to Millie. Millie. And Millie will take that one down with a check. Pocket sixes holding that one down. So a small little pot there for Miss Millie over here at table 1. Three ace deuce comes out on this flop. Jam, Neon, and Marta on this one. Jammers ran to the basement to get another bottle of scotch. I was just informed this by up here in the booth. I just got a telegram. So we will see a check come from that. Check by Marta. Neon going 99.0, or sorry, with 99.02 in the chip stack. We'll just check it around. Four hearts comes out. Check by Jammer. Over to Marta, who checks it down. Our table just lost connection there real quick. PokerNow having its fun. And Neon will take that one down for a few more chips in the pocket. Good to go. So there we are with 2 tables of action still. Still 11 players alive in game number 8 of the Dominion run. And while we are looking at both tables, let's also take a peek at what the hell's going on with the active live leaderboard for the series, as our top 7 will end up going forward to the final table. Poker Cat, what do we got? Well, we got something that's hard as fuck to read is what we've got. So, with that, let's just bring up, maybe we can see it better with the table. No, that just didn't get any better. I don't know what happened here, but that was not the color to pick, apparently, with these backdrops and backgrounds. I mean, oh, dear Lord. That's not what I selected. I selected to go here. That's what we're going to do. That makes it a little bit easier to read, since you guys can't see what the hell's going on the tables anyway. Currently, our top 10 series leaderboard. Marta, Quadzilla, Lyrialis, Casely, the top 4. Molly Mary still hanging on. Biggie Large still in there. No Fold Frank is dropped, I do believe. Just a tad? No, everybody's kind of stayed the same up there. So actually, 3 of our players in the bottom half currently for the series top 7 qualifiers for the to move on to the final table are now in danger, with Godly, 4 King Ace, and Millie now rounding out 7, 8, and 9, lit up in red there. So things are changing. Oh, the times they are changing. Yeah, I can do a Bob Dylan from time to time. What table do we want to go to? Here we go. Table 2's got a full board sitting there. Let's go take a peek at what's going on there with 2 9s, 8 king, and the deuce. And it's all spaded up all at the same time. And that went pretty much nowhere. Queen Deuce 8 comes out on the flop. We got a queen of spades, 8 of spades, and a deuce of diamonds. 1125 says Jammer, and nobody wants to play with Jammer. Blinds are up again. We're at a $125, $250 on the small and big blinds now. Force bets to each player to the left of the dealer before any cards are dealt out. Millie will play along with this one. Neon having a good think here. Goes ahead and calls that one. JP, 2020, will limp in for the extra $1.25. Jam Rock and Roll on the option. We'll check it. 10-7 of diamonds and a 10 of spades to pair the board on the flop. Checked around Millie. Millie getting anxious, saying 250 to go. Neon will stick around. Five of hearts comes out on the turn. 250 to go. Millie says over to Neon. Ace of spades comes on the river. 750 to go. Neon says no. Have at it. Whoa! Quad tens for Millie. Look out. Quads are hitting again tonight. This was happening yesterday in the Warrior Series. I think it was happening Saturday in the Warrior Series. Quads for the Syndicate this weekend. Holy crap. Quad tens for Millie over on table 2. What a hand. Absolutely amazing.
Going to the strip club. All right.
Jack 7-5 comes out on the flop. 7-5 of clubs. Jack of hearts. Jam Rock and Roll. Marta going at it on this one. 10 of spades comes on the turn. 7 of hearts for free. But the showdown is not. Jam Rock and Roll will take those few extra chips, put them in the pocket. $1.25, 250 to go. Over to Neon. Quadzilla folded out of this one. Neon folds out. Pocket Rockets for JP. Six Jack comes out, all rainbowed up. $250 to go, says Quadzilla over to Millie. Head over to table 1 here where we've got an all-in. Casely and Lyrialis battling it out at the moment. Freakchild all-in. Casely bows out. Queen Jack against Queen 9. Queen 9 will have the straight. And that will do Freakchild in, as he will close out in 11th place, which will seal the deal for his final table possible appearance. He will not make it. So we're down to 10 players now. Tables will rebalance. Somebody's got to move at this point. And there we go. JP is the one that ends up getting the nod for moving. Nine of diamonds comes. And just a queen kicker will help that one along for 4 king ace hole. JP coming over to table 1 with about $2 grand in chips. 10:50 to go. Pre-flop from Forking Ace Hole. JP will play along. That's about half the stack for him. Godley will bow out of that. Leary Alice out of there. 3-5-4 comes out. 2 hearts, 3-4 of hearts, 5 of clubs. 300 to go, says Forking Ace Hole after that big pre-flop bet. And JP will fold it out and say no thank you to that. So everybody getting a little squirrely as things are going on here. Blinds are going up. Still every 10 minutes they go up, but they're going to be going up a little bit quicker now. The Dominion Run, a grinder of a series. Designed to test players' patience at the game. As we check out table 2. About an hour and a half of poker here with 15 players at the table this evening. Game 8 of the Syndicate's Dominion Run qualifier series. Top 7 will move on to the final table next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Right here on YouTube. Neon will hang tight on that one. So we'll take a peek at our leaderboard where it currently sits now. Godley sitting in first with a commanding lead now at 16 grand. Leary Alice sitting at 95, just shy of the 10 grand mark. Forking Ace Hole has worked his way back up to third. Millie up in fourth. Quad and Casely rounding out 5th and 6th. Jam, Neon, Marta, and then JP down in 10th. JP, the short stack, currently at 1034 over on table 1. So that's where we sit currently right now with Freakchild's demise in the game. Let's take a peek at our top series 10, series top 10 leaderboard live as it happens right now. Everybody is still holding tight. Even with that, currently, believe it or not, Freakchild did move up into the bottom of the deadline and currently sits, let's see, that is 8th. But that will not last because all of the other players that are below that still have to play and still have time to get knocked out. So if he's been knocked out and gotten points and he's already moved up, imagine who else is going to make an appearance on this top 10 leaderboard here on our live action. So everybody else that's already been knocked out currently still safe at the moment. But anything can happen because the points awarded are only going to go up from here. First out only gets 1 point. Second out gets 2 points, and so on and so forth up until the final player gets the top amount of points per player. So that's 15 points plus an extra bonus point for winning. That's how the structure works for each game. So that's been going on for the last 8 weeks, nearly 2 months. And for every game of the Syndicate prior to this, and the ones that are about to finish up. So we will see as players get knocked out where everybody starts landing and who gets knocked off of the leaderboard there. It will be interesting. Jack 10-10 comes on that flop, and we will not see much more to go with that. Blinds at 150, 300 now. Jam Rock and Roll in the action. Gets out of there. Marta to limp in for a $150 or fold. Goes up even further. Triples it up to 900. Millie. 600 to go. Will not play. Marta taking the blinds out. An extra 300 300 trips. Jesus Christ. Everybody playing along with this one. Neon not playing this one out. Quadzilla, Millie, Marta, and Jam Rock and Roll on this. Actions on Millie. 5, 7, 8 on the board. All rainbowed up. Spade, heart, and a club. Checked around. We got a family check with a 4 of spades coming on the turn. 300 to go, says Quadzilla. Jam Rock and Roll out of there. Marta's out of there. And Millie the holdout. As we wait. No, Millie's out of there. Millie wants nothing to do with that one. So that's the action over at table 2. Let's go take a peek over at table 1 and see what's still going on over here. JP has done some build back better after being down on the cliff. Going 795 pre-flop against Casely. King 8-3 on the board. Rainbowed up. A jack of clubs comes to give a full rainbow. 300 to go, says Casely. JP will play. Another 300 to go on the queen. And the queen 10, queen ace. River helped JP out on that one a little bit. Actually, no, JP had that the whole way through. So queen just kind of sealed the deal on that one. Could have been dangerous, a lot more dangerous for Casely on that one for sure. Porking ace hole popping out of this one. Heads up between Godly, the chip lead. JP playing Biden poker. Build back better. Does not want to go. Godly showing the ace queen. Suited. Forking Ace hole says 1350 to go. That's going to be another 1050 to... No, Godly's not out. 1050 to Lyrialis. Action still running over at table 2 right now, you hear in the background. Lyrialis does not want to play. Forking Ace hole will steal the blinds. As the button moves to JP. Godly on the small blind. Lyrialis in the big blind. Nobody knows the tens that I've seen. We got 2 10s, a 7 and a 9, 2 spades, 2 clubs, now an 8. Wow, that is what a board. What's going to go on here? We got 300 from Lyrialis, 900 from Godly. And it was called just like a race says it was, and it was a straight versus straight, low straight, high straight. High straight was the jack there with Godly's jack. I think we all saw the writing on the wall on that one. Faux show. And we will hold off on that for a minute. We will go. I was going to go back into something, but we're not going to do that yet. Jack, King, Jack on the board here. King, Jack of diamonds, a Jack of clubs. Board pairs, Casely bets, and that's it. We're out of there. Casely grabbing a few extra chips to build back better as well. Queen ace of hearts on the board. 4 of spades comes. Or sorry, 9 of clubs comes on the turn. It was a 4 of spades on the flop. 695 to go from JP. Everybody's folding out of that one. 150, 300 to go. Godly under the gun gets out of that one. And Forking Ace hole will limp in against JP. JP on the option. We'll check it up. 8, 10, 3. 8, 10 of the clubs. 3 of hearts. 10 of hearts comes on to pair the board on the turn for free. And a free ace of diamonds on the river. 300 to go. We'll get JP out of there. Forking Ace hole will take that one down over here at table uno. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We go over to table Zwein. Where we got, we've got Neon going 875. And steals the blinds on that one with an ace-6 offsuit. Quadzilla under the gun, just shy of 10 grand on the chip stack for Quadzilla. Jam, Rock and Roll, Marta, and Millie. Playing along with Neon on this one. Now just Jam, Rock and Roll against Neon with the King of Diamonds to pair the board. 350 to go. And Neon does not want to play along with that one. $350 to Neon. Neon will sit this one out. Jam, Rock and Roll pre-flop. Millie limps in for the extra $1.75. Quadzilla on the option says, no, a little bit more. You want to pay? You're going to pay to see these wonderful cards. Deuce, Deuce, Queen. And we have lost yet another player. As Four King Ace-Hole actually just went out over at the other table. So we missed that all in. So we are down to our final table here with the Dominion Run. Quadzilla will take this one down with a little bet. Queen 7 and 2 pair will take that one down. All right, so let's bring you up to date. Four King Ace-Hole has gone out in 10th place. We're down to 9 players left. Godly still is the chip lead at 28 grand. Double, well, almost triple at this point of what Quadzilla sitting in second has. Neon sitting in third. Jam, Rock and Roll fourth. Casely fifth. JP, Leary Alice, Millie, and Marta rounding out the last of the players still alive at the table. Four King Ace-Hole going out 10th. Freak Child went out 11th. Boss went out 12th. No Fold Frank went out 13th. And then Biggie Large and Molly Mary going out early in the game in one hand, both getting annihilated pretty much by Casely with just her pocket tens back at that hand. 2 pair of 9s over 7s for Marta with an ace kicker. That'll take that one. $10-3 of diamonds, 8 of spades comes on this flop. $12.68 from Neon. Nobody wants to play along with that. Ace Queen running for the flush on that one. So there we are. Our full table, full final table of 2 tables. Last 9 remaining for game 8 of the Dominion Run. The final qualifier for next week's final table on this series. And coming up this week, just to let you all know, that is not the right graphic, is what I'm also going to let you know, because they all look the same right now. That's the one we needed to bring up to our upcoming schedule for the rest of this week. Tomorrow, Tuesday, 1 p.m. Eastern, the Accord game number 8. Wednesday, 4 a.m. Eastern, the Horizon game number 8. Then later on Wednesday, midnight Eastern time, Where's Chase game number, I believe, 9. That one still has a few games left on that one, the one you want to tune into. Everybody chasing the glittered up raccoon who steals everything from the Syndicate. A little Syndicate lore behind that one. Check that one out. That one's in the archives of the YouTube channel. Thursday, 4 a.m. Eastern, the Crucible final table. So that will crown a winner on Thursday morning, Eastern time. And then Friday, Saturday, however you want to look at it, 1 a.m. Eastern time, Conclave number 8, the other final qualifier of another series that's also running with the Syndicate Poker Club. So all of that coming up. Make sure to subscribe and do all that so you get the alerts of which ones will and will not be broadcast. Final table's always being broadcast with the Syndicate Poker Club right here on our YouTube channel. And the Syndicate Poker Club, check them out, syndicatepokerclub.com. Playing free live poker at PokerNow.club. So I think we'll take a break from off of the table. I think we'll just, so it's a little easier for everybody to read. Here's where we really sit right now. Your series top 10 leaders. This is your live leaderboard right now. Let's see. Yes, we've had a move. No Fold Frank has now not cleared. So Frank has moved down. Godly still active, but right there in striking distance of making the final table. But Marta still in the lead. Quadzilla still in second. Leary Ellis. Forking Ace-Hole has moved up. Casely still there, sitting in 5th place. Molly Mary and Biggie Large in danger of being knocked off of the final table. So that's where we are sitting live currently as players get knocked out here in Syndicate Dominion game number 8. The final qualifier for the final table. Names in blue there, those were the ones that are still qualified for the final table by points, highest point levels. Not really qualified, but you understand what I mean. Shut up! Yeah, just shut up. Okay, I'm shutting up. I'll just do that. I'm going to go get coffee. I'll be back. Enjoy.
Sat down with a stack, feeling just right. Read the whole table like a book last night. But then a guy in Crocs and a cowboy hat called my raise with 7 deuce. Imagine that. Flop comes down, not a pair in sight. He rivered a straight, said, I just playing for the vibes, alright. All in, all night. These fuckers just can't play right. They call with trash, hit the light. I'm losing chips to fools in flight. Luck's on vacation, skills out of sight. Still I'm all in all night. Hands like this all night, one last try. Got kings in the hole, fell 10 feet high. Big blind calls with a face full of fries. Flop strips with a 9. I don't know why. He said 9's my lucky number, dude. I tipped my hat and ordered comfort food. I studied GTO solvers and charts. They study cartoons and follow their hearts. One guy said oops as he showed his hand. Flopped a full house with a beer in his pants. I cried inside but I kept my cool while the guy next to me played chess with a pool.
And with that, we apparently have had a player forfeit in JP 2020. Who will be offline and away and blinded out at this point. Godly going all in 25,194 with a 4,000 chip pot. A 3,000 chip initial bet by Neon. Godly with trip deuces. With the pocket deuces sitting there. Blinds at 200, 400 now.
Same pixel bar, same carousel of fools. Stat tracking overlay says I'm 80% to rule. Flop a set of queens, surprise, here comes the fourth club. Chat explodes with LOLs like some cut recruitment hub. Dealer button winks at me, I swear I heard it giggle. And right before the payout jump, the power lines will wiggle. I'm keeping notes, drawing graphs, correlation or a laugh. Funny how the coin flips hide their tails. The fucking game is rigged. Patterns tighter than my grip. Every river's pre-recorded. Every miracle is scripted.
right. We are back in the action. We're calling it Table 2 because that's where everybody moved to. Game 8, Syndicate. Dominion Run. Final qualifier. Everybody that makes the top 7 will be sitting at the final table next week to be crowned the Dominion Run champion. Top 7 players and top 7 players only. We're keeping you updated live on that board, along with our current chip leading board for this game. Quadzilla and Godly. Couple of big stacks going out here with all spades on the board. 10, ace, 8. Quadzilla 16 to go over to Godly. Godly plays. 2 hearts comes out. Getting ripped off like Walmart again. And there goes a card for target. That's a freebie. Both players check. Godly taking it with a pair of aces. Ace queen over a 4-7. $200, $400 to go on the big and small blinds. Chip leads currently Godly at 35 something. Way over the top of Quadzilla, currently 11-4. Casely at 62. Neon sitting in 4th. Jam Rock and Roll 4,300. Leary Allison 6th. Marta 7th. Millie sitting on the cliff's edge at 1,300 as the short stack currently. 5-8 Queen. Queen 5 of hearts. 8 of diamonds. Casely and Quadzilla going heads up again. 9 of hearts comes. 400 to go. And Quadzilla will take this one for a 2,600 chip pot. Leary Alice under the gun comes along for the ride at 400. Over to Marta on the action. Marta goes 1,100. So far, nobody wants to play. 700 more to Neon. Neon feeling the pressure from Marta. Leary Alice will stick around with this one. We got a big slick on the board. Ace King offsuit with a 5 of clubs. King of hearts, ace of diamonds. 2011 to go. What a year. That was an all-in by Marta. And that was enough to keep it going. Blinds are up 250, 500. As we will be getting ready to go into yet another break after 2 hours of play here on Dominion Run, game number 8 with the Syndicate Poker Club at syndicatepokerclub.com. 2 3s and a 10 on the board. It's rainbowed. There's a heart, a diamond, and a club. 500 to go. All in for Leary Alice, 2146. Over to Neon with the initial 500 chip bet. And Neon folds it out. Leary Alice taking that one down. Neon showing a 10 for 2 pair. Leary Alice being sneaky with whatever she was holding there. $1,000 to go. Leary Alice with a 5 ace 9. Ace 9 of clubs goes all in again. Or sorry, not all in. I was halfway there. Ish. A third. I don't know. Whatever. Leary Alice took it down. Doesn't matter anymore. because we're off to the next one. 250, 500 respectively. Big, small blinds to Jam and Marta. Larry Alice on the button. All in from Casely making a punt, possibly. No, we're just going to take some blinds away as Casely stays alive on yet another hand. Here goes Millie with already more than half of what she's got left in her chip stack. 300 left sitting there with a queen of clubs on the turn and another club to club it up. Check down. Marta will take it with a pair of kings. Millie only with a 3-9 on the big blind. So that was a forced bet, unfortunately. Millie almost all in on the small blind at 250. 50 left in the stack after this. Jam Rock and Roll will donate to the cause. Millie is all in. Millie could triple up here. 3, 10, 8. Rainbow, 3 of clubs, 10 of diamonds, 8 of spades. Customary checked. Both players checking it down so far. Quadzilla, Jam Rock and Roll. And another diamond comes out, a 3 of diamonds. Quads checks. Jam bets it 500. And Jam will have the pocket jacks for 2 pair. Pocket jacks not cursed anymore with the Syndicate. Millie will go out with the unfortunate small blind crap cards that she got forced into playing there. But Millie will exit the tournament, or sorry, exit the game, pardon me, in 8th place, leaving Marta as the short stack just barely. Godley still with the commanding lead at 34 grand. So, but that will also give us a new live leaderboard for the qualifiers for the final table, which we will share with you here momentarily after we look at chip stacks. And give you guys a real leaderboard look here. 1,000 to go from Godley over to Casely, who will fold it out with a king of hearts on the river there. Curtain chip stack now. Godley sitting still in first, well over everybody. Quadzilla coming in second right now, only at 11,000, 11.5. Leary Alice sitting 66, 51 for Jam. Neon hanging on to 5th, 6th for Casely. Marta now the short stack at 38. And that's where we sit on this particular game for now. Now, as far as the Dominion Run series itself, our final table qualifiers, as it sits right now, I'm going to black out the screen here instead. Yeah, whatever. Here you go. Let's take a look at this. Marta, Quadzilla, Leary Alice, 4 King Ace, Casely, Molly Mary, Biggie Large. Why is that? That is not correct. Hold on one second. We need to re-update that. Let's do that live, shall we? There we are. Millie has made the final table, even going out in 8th place for this game. Millie will make the final table currently as it stands, knocking Biggie Large off the final table qualifiers at this time. So Millie making another final table of the Dominion Run where we're at right now, knocking Biggie Large, no longer qualifying, has been knocked out. A lot of points that were available for this game, so everybody grinding it out and holding on to their seats. They're starting to climb up the boards because the point difference was not that much Other than Marta was kind of running away with the lead with Quadzilla and Lyrialis. But we still have a lot of poker to play and still some seats to see where everybody's going to end up in this game. And see where everybody's going to end up on the final qualifier portion of the table. So there we are. Blind still at 250, 500. Everybody kind of hanging out on this hand here. Chip stacks are pretty heavy over on Godly right now. King 5 of hearts. 3 of clubs. Jam, rock, and roll. Timing out here, checking it. Over to Marta, over to Quad. Off to Neon. Jack of clubs comes on the turn. Quadzilla goes 5. Jam, rock, and roll timing out here. Taking some time at least. Checking it. Folding it. Marta folds out. Quadzilla will take the little bit of chips there to kind of build up something to get after Godly, perhaps. Neon goes 11.25 pre-flop on a raise. Goes about 6.25 over the top of Quadzilla's big blind 500. Jam, rock, and roll. Folds it. Marta's out. Quadzilla folds out. And Neon will take the blinds, totaling 12.50. Along with whatever else was in there. Casely all in pre-flop at 38.56. Jammer and Casely will get everybody out of that one, adding 12.50 to her stack. And with that, that will take us to yet another break with the Syndicate. And we will be back momentarily. However, let us remind you, coming up in December, the Syndicate Ascendancy 2025. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's right. The Syndicate's final tournament of the season. 21 games in 21 days to crown the top player through an entire series. But it won't be the player of the year necessarily. Anyway, the Ascendancy 2025. Keep an eye out for that with the Syndicate Poker Club. SyndicatePokerClub.com. We'll be back in just a few momentos.
The blinds march higher, relentless cold. Every hand a battle, every chip is gold. Breath held tight when the river comes, but the turn decides how the war is won. sacrifice. Every ray's a scar. Dreams hang heavy where the champions are. One by one, the strong fall undone. The road is endless in the Dominion run. And miles of hands, the war goes on. Steel against steel till the break of dawn. Through the silence, through the storm we run. Glory awaits in the Dominion. The grind is eternal. The Dominion never ends.
And with that, we are coming back live. Live action here as we had two tables, 15 players on Dominion Run, game number 8, the final qualifier of the Dominion Run series, to see who makes the final table next week. And we are down to our final 7 players of this game, the final game of the Dominion series. Qualifiers, that is. Godly with a commanding lead currently over this entire table on this one entire game, as our blinds start off at 300, 600 as we come back from this break. We are 2 hours into this game, 15 players remaining with Godly, Casely, Quadzilla, Marta, Jam Rock and Roll, Leary Alice, and Neon 10. All sitting in this one. Godly with a commanding lead in first at 35,000 chips. Quadzilla taking up second way back there with 12,000. Leary Alice, Jam Rock and Roll, Neon, all three just over 5,000, right about the starting point that they started out with. Casely about 1,000 down from the start point at 4,000. Marta as the short stack currently with 3061 in 7th place. Millie going out in 8th, JP 2020 in 9th, Forking Ace-Hole in 10th. Freakchild went out 11th, Boss went out in 12th, pardon me. 13th was No Fold Frank, and then 14th and 15th was Biggie Large and Molly Mary going out early in the game. Which kind of, they were sitting up at the top of our series leaderboard, and already Biggie Large has gotten knocked off by ending up going out so early. So we'll see how this all pans out. Millie moved up and currently is qualifying for the final table, but we still have a lot of poker to play. 7 players still to go. Very tight race to see who's going to qualify. Pretty red board out there with 2 diamonds, 2 hearts, 9, 10, jack, and an ace. Now a 5 of spades on the river. Both players check it out. Just a pair of jacks to take that one down for Quadzilla from Leary Alice. So our current top 10 leaders for the series in this particular order. Marta in first. Quadzilla is sitting in second currently, still playing. Leary Alice still playing in third. Millie has exited the game but is now qualified up in 4th place. Hard to read there, but Forking Ace-Hole is sitting in 5th, out of the game already. Casely still in the game, sitting 6th. Molly Mary sitting 7th currently, hanging on to that last spot. Biggie Large out of the game, has now been knocked out of the final table. No Fold Frank knocked out of the final table. Did start there at the beginning of the game, but is out of this game as well, so there's no move up there. Freakchild rounding out the top 10 so far of what's on there. But down below that, we have Godly, Jam Rock and Roll, Boss, And Neon 10 still sitting down below those players that still have points to earn and can still move their way up. So anything can happen, and a lot of points still left to be had, including a final 16 points for the first place finisher here on game number 8. Points are awarded based off of a sliding scale as to how many players there are and where your finish is. So if you end in last place, you're only going to get 1. Second to last place, 2, 3, 4, all the way up until the first place finisher gets a bonus point for finishing first, but their number of points is the number of players there are. So if there are 8 players, first place gets 8 points plus 1 bonus point. No matter what, you get 1 point at least for finishing the game. 1,200 to go. Pair of 10s on the board. And a jack of diamonds. So we have 10 jack of diamonds, 10 of spades. 31.06 all in from Casely. Over to Leary Alice, which will pretty much be an all in there. All but 90 chips there from Leary Alice to stack to call this. As we wait for the decision on this one. Leary Alice goes for the call. 31.06 called by Godly. 7 of clubs comes on the turn. Ace of spades comes checked by Godly, and Leary Alice pulls the last 90. Leary Alice will take it, knocking Casely out in 7th place. So Casely will finish the tournament, or the game, game number 8 in 7th place. And we will give you guys the live updated board here in just a moment. Casely finishing in 7th place. That'll give her 9 points on the board, as she will be the 9th player knocked out. But even with that finish, it actually puts Casely, believe it or not, in a good position to survive no matter what happens here. So we'll see what happens. We'll update that for you here in just a moment. Neon and Leary Alice here. Neon 300 left to limp in to see the flop. Should Leary Alice allow that? Neon holding tight on this one. Goes over the top on this one. 15 to go. Leary Alice will fold that one out. As Neon takes over the button, Leary Alice on the small blind for 300. 600 for Jam Rock and Roll. On the big blind, Marta under the gun will just call. Quadzilla folds out. Godly will play along. Neon says no on the button. Jam Rock and Roll on the option to check or raise, and he will check it out. 8, 7, 10 comes on the board. 8, 10 of hearts, and a 7 of diamonds. $600 to go from Godly. Ace of spades comes on the turn. Now that was a dollar store treat right about there. Minimal bet, but we got a nice little card out of it. No more shopping at Walmart. We're over at Target now. Actually, Target's more of a ripoff than Walmart is, so, you know, go figure. 1200 to go from Jam Rock and Roll. Godly pushing all chips in, going all in. I don't know if that's a statement to show the weight of the chips there. And it was only another 1,300 to go. Ace-Jack suited over Ace-8 suited, or offsuit. And 2 pair on the turn for Jam Rock and Roll. We'll take that one down. And that is a huge, pretty much triple up for Jam Rock and Roll, with all the extra chips that were on the table already. So Jam Rock and Roll inching closer to the 10 grand mark. Godly taking a hit on that one, down to 25. Jam Rock and Roll, 300 to go on the limp in. No good. Marta will hold on to the blind, the big blind, and grab an extra 300 there. Godly going over the top under the gun, pretty much like almost a straddle bet if you want, if you would. Of course, it's not blind, so you can't really call it a straddle, but it would be a straddle. Just it wasn't blind. Over to Neon for 1,200 to go. Leary Alice is out as well. Jammer's out. Marta not going to go for the extra 9. 600 more for quad. We will see the flop. 8-4 clubs. Jack of spades. Godly triples up the bet from Quadzilla. And he will fold out. $400, $800, our blinds have gone up. Marta pushing all in here with a punt of 1861. Another 1061 to go. King Queen suited clubs, 4-5. And there's a queen on the flop right there. And that pretty much killed Godly right away. One card was all there could have been, and that will do that hand in. Marta doubling up good for 41.22 now in the stack. And will survive for a few more blinds. And for those of you that like to play online poker and like to see the big blind, small blind, there you go. There's what everybody's real stacks look like. If you like the online version of blinds, of BBs, of biggies, of whatever you want to call them. We like to keep it as actual chips because it's easier for everybody to read that way. 100% because you have exact amounts that way. Because it's a chip in a chair, not a blind in a chair, just to let y'all know. So there you go. Marta going back all in with the 5 big blinds, if you will. We'll flip this back and forth a little bit on this hand for those of you that like to see it that way. Neon has about 5 blinds to call. And nobody wants to play. Marta will hold on to that one with big slick offsuit with a diamond and a heart sitting there. Feeling pretty royal. For those of you that are not used to the big blind terminologies of online poker, as it were, this is basically about how many hands you have left in the game if you don't start building your stack up. So if you were to get shit cards and go completely card dead, that's about how many hands you would have left is 6 hands or 6 big blinds. Problem with using this is that it does not incorporate your small blind that comes after your 1 big blind. So you don't really have 5 hands left. So that's the difference between a lot of players that play big blinds and small blinds. But this kind of gives you a better idea of how much higher or how much bigger Godly's stack is over everybody else's. She's sitting at 31 big blinds, and the next closest actually is Leary Alice now, sitting at 16. So for those of you that like to see that, there you go. There's a few hands and more explanation for those of you that don't play it that way with a Jack King of spades on the board. But we're going to go back to chip stacks, actual chip stacks and counts. In this free-to-play poker game of the Syndicate Dominion Run, game number 8, the final qualifier to see who makes the final table. And we will remember for upcoming games, don't use the Syndicate Blue as a overlay. It does not formulate well on the screen. It looked good in testing. It looked good in rehearsals. Isn't that what they always say? But it looked good in blocking. That's what they say in Hollywood. It looked good in blocking. Why did it look like such shit like that? Well, you forgot to take into account that the sun moves. Jack 10 of hearts. Ace of diamonds. 1,200 to go from Godly. Quadzilla says he's going to get out of there. Another jack pairs the board. It's a diamond as well, so now we got 2 hearts, 2 diamonds. This board's getting wetter by the second, except for that 4 of clubs they got for free. Shopping at the dollar store, and we got a full boat. Jacks full of 10s with Godly's flopping the 2 pair there, and then catching the extra oomph there. Only 1 4 of a kind on this evening's game. And that came from Millie. Quad 10s, I believe it was. You guys can watch back. That was about an hour ago. All live right here on the Syndicate streams. Syndicate playing free poker over at freepokernow.club. Free to play poker with friends. PokerNow.club. 10-9 of spades, 8 of clubs, 2 of spades. Quadzilla went all in with trip 9s on that turn with his pocket 9 sitting in there. So we have a good fold there. While these guys get into this hand real quick, let's merge over and take a look at our top 10 leaderboard now as it sits live. As we are updating these currently. Now, this will all change. This will not be the finishing positions for everybody. But everybody is moving around quite a bit. Marta in first place still actively playing, even though on a slight short stack. Everybody limping in on the table that you can't see at the moment. With a 399 on the board. You guys can't see that either. We'll just come back to this until this hand is over. Godly going 1,200 on the pair of 9s on the board with 2 hearts. Neon gets out of there. Leary Alice will fold it out. Godly will not show. 400, 800 to Leary Alice and Jam Rock and Roll. Anyway, going back to the top 10 where we're sitting. Every name in blue, those are your qualifiers. The red are the bottom 3 of the top 10, and that is where the line cuts off. So those 3 players in red are not in the game anymore, but there are names that are still on this table that could move up into the blue. Casely sitting in second after going out currently, but that will change as Quadzilla is still in the game, Leary Alice still in the game. So Casely will most likely drop down a couple of spots. Nobody is yet safe from making the final table, with the exception of Marta probably at this point. Maybe Quadzilla. We'll have to see who sneaks up from the bottom that you can't see. Neon folding out. Leary Alice goes for the call on 800 big blind. Marta on the option goes all in, 41-22 to Leary Alice, who will not play that one and go nearly all in. Pocket 5s for Marta shown. Godly under the gun, pops it up double to 16. And nobody wants to play around with that one. They are getting the hell out of there. Neon under the gun in the action. Just calls the 800. And everybody limping in. Quadzilla checking it around to Godly with 2 queens and a 3 on the board. Check to Neon. $2,000 to go. And Pocket Aces will take that one down for Neon for 2 pair. Two 10s and a 7 on the flop. Checked over from Neon to Jammer, and everybody's checking it out for a free card. It's Queen of Diamonds. And wow, that is what you call a massive motherfucking chop pot. That is right, folks. We have not 1, but 2, not 3, but we got 3 players. Chop suey, chop pot. As all 3 players had the ace to kick it out. Chop pots are not always just 2 players. They can be more than 1. Neon not going in for the extra 400 limp in. Leary Alice checking the option. Going heads up with Jam Rock and Roll with a King Jack 8 Rainbow. 39.08 all in for Leary Alice. About, yeah, a little bit over half the stack of Jam Rock and Roll, who calls it with Ace Jack, pair of jacks right now. And a deuce comes on the turn to give Leary Alice the lead. And it goes back. Oh, shit. Oh, shit, mother of pearl. Oh. That was brutal. Oh, my God. Talk about seesaw freaking teeter-totter poker. Wow. Both players flopping the pair of jacks. Jammer having the kicker. Leary Alice turning the 2 pair with jacks and deuces. And then the 8 comes to pair the board for Jammer to get the kicker in on that one with 2 pair jacks and 8s with the ace kicker. Insane. Back and forth. What a hand. That was insane. Godly taking that one down with a pair of aces. Pair of aces for Jammer, just did not have the oomph in the kicker there with the 6. Holy moly. So that will clear Leary Alice in 6th place on game number 8 here. That will earn Leary Alice 10 points for being out 10th. Marta going all in here, looking for a caller. Gets an extra $1,000 out of it at least. Gets an extra $2,000 out of that. So that'll give Marta a little bit more breathing room to make some damage. Godly still sitting way up on top of the mountaintop there at 32.6. Blinds 500, 1,000 to go. Over to Neon. Five Jack 4, 5 Jackson 5 of hearts, and then a flat tire. Got a Jackson 5 and a flat tire. What's a Jack 4? Flat tire. There you go. Well, our board has changed for the entire series currently, with Leary Alice going out and earning that extra 10 points. It will change, though. Marta is still in the game. We will show that to you here real quick. where everything currently sits, and that is not correct because that did not update properly, so let's update it properly. Just like that. Larry Alice actually is sitting in the lead at the moment, but Marta will come back and take that spot over when Marta leaves this game, depending on, not really depending on where Marta exits, because Marta was already the lead. Larry Alice at 57 points, Marta at 51, Case Lee tied at 51 as well. Quadzilla currently in 4th at 50 points. Millie, 45. Forking Asol, who is out of the game, 44 points. Molly Mary hanging on to that very last 7th spot at 41 points. But down below that, you've got Godly still in the game. Jam Rock and Roll still in the game. And that is the only two, actually, that are still in the game that are going to make any kind of difference. Neon is on the board, but he's way down at the bottom, has not played enough of the series games so far to be able to be of any damage. So Molly Mary most likely will get knocked off of the leaderboard. Forking Asshole next in line to be knocked off. Marta already up there. So chances are, actually, I can tell you right now, Godly and Jam Rock and Roll will make the final table. And Quadzilla, and yeah, so that's actually going to be your final table, actually, once we get the stats fully put up. But yeah, your final leaderboard, it looks like, is going to be final table is going to be Marta, Leary Alice, Casely, Quadzilla, Millie, and then Godly and Jam Rock and Roll. That's what it's looking like right now. I cannot confirm that until the game is over, but that's what it looks like our final table is going to be. 8 deuce deuce on the flop here. 5 of clubs comes. 2 of clubs, 5 of clubs, 2 of diamonds, 8 of diamonds. 2 sharing the suits along with the other cards there. 1,000 chips to go. And a deuce comes up to trip up the board. Checked around. Ace King, the big slick, will take it with the kicker solution on that one. Not even a boat. Nobody had a 5 or an 8 or a pocket pair to go with that. Marta building back better at this point. Cranking up to 1,400. Or sorry, 14 grand. Quadzilla's dropped down to 74. Jammer's still kind of sitting stagnant. Just about that 9,000 mark. Neon still sitting 11 something. It is all clubbed up. It's a 6-4 and a 6-4 and a queen. It's a 6-4 and a queen. Guys, did you see it? It's a 6-4 and a queen. We're just going to be Chase for now. How about that? Would you like that? Let's just be Chase. Oh, darlings, don't you just understand me? Everybody hates Chase. Chase series coming up in a couple of days. Chase game number 9. That one is not in a final session yet. Queen, Queen 3 comes on the flop. Neon checking it over to Quad. Quad going to grand. And that's too rich for Neon to play along with. Doubled up by Quadzilla. Godly playing. And Jammer will not see the extra 1,000. 6 Queen of Hearts, 4 diamonds all in by Quadzilla, called by Godly. quick snap call. Queens on both players. There's an ace. And a 10 does not come to help Quadzilla at all. So that will do Quadzilla in 5th place. As Godly gets richer for the game. Quadzilla getting 11 points out of that one for this game. And that will change our leaderboard look a little bit. It's not going to change the outcome at all at this point. Quadzilla was already a final table qualifier, as it were. But with that extra points, that puts him up in 1st place. As we are now sitting with Quadzilla, Lyrialis. But Marta's still in the game, so Marta will reclaim that 1st place spot. And with Quadzilla and Lyrialis being out, they will probably end up 2nd and 3rd. Now the question is, Casely, Millie, 4 King Ace, where are they going to end up? Molly will definitely be getting knocked out. 4 King Ace most likely will also be getting knocked out. And, yeah. Because I think Millie is going to be safe. Millie will probably end up being in the 7th and last spot once it all comes down to it. So that's about where we're sitting. Godly sitting with almost 40 grand in chips. 150. Wait, 150. Where's my fucking math? Jesus. 15 players. 15 times 5. 70 grand in chips was on the table. Right? Am I right? Yeah. That's got to be. Or is my math off? Oh, but we lost chips because somebody forfeited chips. So, well, they're not all going to be there by the end of the game. But Godly's got pretty much all the game chips sitting on that side of the table. Godly being shoved and put over on one side of the table. It's all leaning like the Titanic to that end right now. Jam Rock and Roll going all in with the Jack King 10 on the board. With the 5 of hearts on the turn. Blinds are up 6-12. Game going to start picking up speed here now. Three, 4, Queen. Queen, 4 of hearts. 3 of spades. 9 of clubs comes. They check it for a 10 of diamonds for free. 1,200, and Neon will take that with no effort. Godly would have had 2 pair on the flop. And there we are. Jammer's going to be going 1,200. Now the one that's under the gun. No good there. And action does not materialize for Godly's 10 Queen suited. Godly will go at it with Neon here with a 9-4-3 shitty-ass flop. 5 of hearts actually kind of helps that board look a little better. And Queen of Spades finishes it out to make it look even more redheaded stepchild than anything else. 36 to go, says Neon. Neon says, I like the redheaded stepchildren. They're my kind of people. Bets it and wins it. The underestimated redheaded stepchildren of this world. We need, you know what? Is there a national? We need to know this. Comment to us, email us. info@syndicatepokerclub.com. Email us. Is there such thing as National Redheaded Stepchild Day in the United States? Why not? We got a national everything else day. Hey guys, what day is it? It's National Redhead Stepchild Day. Isn't that cool? Yeah, get the hell out of my house. Kaboom. Send you back to the farm where you came from. 8-10 is all Godly had on that. Could have played it, but no good. 600, 1200 to go. Jam Rock and Roll under the gun. Sitting with about 8,700 in chips, almost 88. Marta over to the 10 grand mark, building back better, defending that first place spot. Marta showing that the Ninja has what the Ninja needs. Which we haven't done a player profile on a moment, so we should probably do that. So while we're doing that, who's at the table? Well, we've got Goddess at the table. Hails out of Washington, D.C. 20. I think actually just turned 21 somewhere around there. Not sure. Actually was the Warrior Series, the original Warrior Series back in this past summer. 12 qualifier games ended up going through there. Grueling back-to-back days, just like the Weekend Warrior we have now with the Syndicate. Currently has only won 3 series Syndicate games. Could be looking for a 4th one here. Best season sit and go ranking is 36 over at PokerNow.club, but Syndicate overall sitting 11th and enjoys the no limit hold'em format of poker the best. 2 3s and a 10 on the board. Ninja has 2 pair with the 10s and 3s with an ace kicker. I was just asked a very weird question. Why is there a cat in the graphic? Well, you're obviously new to the Syndicate Poker Club's broadcast here, or anything about the Syndicate Poker Club. Anyway, the Syndicate Poker Club's official referee, Poker Cat, who loves chip chasing, comes out of the litter box all the time, spreading litter all over the God-blessed house. 9 years of age. That's about it. The official Syndicate Poker, the official game referee, Poker Cat. You can find out more about all about Poker Cat over at the Syndicate Poker Club website, syndicatepokerclub.com. Jam Rock and Roll all in with the lead off the bat here. And the 2 pair to go right now. Oh, shit. And the River of Tears hits Jam Rock and Roll, who will go out in 4th as Marta flushes out, builds back better, big time, holy shit. And Jam Rock and Roll will take a 4th place seat, headed over to the lounge for another glass of scotch. And we'll finish the game with 12 points on the leaderboard for Game 8 of the Dominion run. So that will indeed change our final table leaderboard as it were right now. Marta obviously making it, was already leading the entire series, still at the table, surviving, now within massive striking distance of Godly. Neon still with enough chips to be able to make some massive damage as well. 10 king of clubs, 9 of hearts comes on this flop. Ace of spades on the turn that everybody paid for. Checked around. Looking for a Teddy KGB on this one. Godly will not Teddy KGB this one. It'll be 5 grand to go. As we are getting down into the hand-to-hand combat war zone possibilities. 3-5 and King 9. Neon does not show. And just really quick, we'll show you where everybody's sitting right now. Quadzilla, Leary, Allison first, but Marta will go back up over the top of them for first place. Casely will sit in 4th. Jam Rock and Roll did make it up and sits right above Millie right now. So, as it stands right now, Godly only needs to hit 45 points to knock 4 King Ace Hole and Molly Mary off And with the points that are at stake, Godly will make the final table. Your final table is pretty much as is. It will be Marta, Quadzilla, Lyrialis, Casely, Jam Rock and Roll, Millie, and Godly that we will see in the final table next week with the Syndicate Poker Club's final table of the Dominion Run. Not to be confused with all the other series. We've got a whole bunch of other series going on at the same time. So Godly will be making the final table. And there we go. We got another chop pot, chop suey between Godly and Neon, keeping Neon alive there. Six and 12 to go. Neon still in the game. Will be getting a real, actually a pretty damn good finishing spot for the end of the leaderboard with only 2 games played in the entire series. So all that information, the final leaderboards and all that will be available over at syndicatepokerclub.com. Click on the tournaments tab. You'll find all of the active game series that are running right now and getting ready to finish up. Click the Dominion Run tab or banner, whatever it is, and you can see what the actual leaderboard sits at, all the way from first down to whatever it is, 15th, of where everybody will finish in the regular qualifier series portion of this game series. 36 to go for this flop. 5-9 of hearts, 2 of spades. Neon going all in. King Queen of heart, or sorry, King Queen offsuit. Only 1 heart there from Lyrialis. So there you are. Whoops, and that's not, I got a quick click in that one because that's not the one we're looking for. Looks just like this one. Coming up for the rest of this week with the Syndicate. Some of these games will or will not be broadcast. Horizon will be broadcast. Chase will be broadcast. The Crucible Final will be broadcast. The Accord happening tomorrow morning for some of you in the U.S. Will not be broadcast. Anyway, upcoming games. The Accord game number 8 final qualifier tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern. Wednesday, 4 a.m. Eastern, Horizon game 8 final qualifier. Wednesday, midnight Eastern is Where's Chase. Neon just took that hand down, as you can see in the background there. Thursday, 4 a.m. Eastern, is the Crucible final table, where we will see Millie again, as well as, I believe, I don't remember who's at that final table. You have to go over to the Syndicate website to find that out. And Friday, Saturday, however you want to look at it, it's at 1 o'clock Eastern. Conclave, number 8, the Omaha Conclave. All Omaha mixed game. Final qualifier for that series to see who's going to make that final table the week after. So, busy final week here with the Syndicate Poker Club. Playing live free poker at PokerNow.club. Down to 3. Damaged chips for everybody that could take Godly down. Godly's worst finish, he would get 13 points. Godly is not set. No, sorry, Godly is set. Yes, I'm sorry. That's my bad. Godly will be set for the final table for sure. So I was right in that that clarification. I miscalculated in my head before I said that. Because worst case scenario, actually Godly will be finishing above Jamrock. So yeah. So it'll depend on whether Godly will finish in 3rd or 4th overall for this Dominion series, winning this game. A huge game with 15 players, a lot of points at stake. That's why every big game counts. Every game counts to get into. The more players, the more points. $1,400 to go for Godly with the King, Jack, Queen on the board. Jack, Queen of clubs, King of diamonds. Marta goes 14. Jack of spades, or sorry, 6 of spades comes up. Whatever that is, dark. And this game could quite possibly blind out. We are going into a third hour. We've already had 2 breaks. Still got about 3 blind levels after 700, 1400. So we probably won't quite get there, but it's going to be damn close. All spades, Jack 9 deuce, 1400. Godly will take that one down. And with that, I am going to give my vocal cord just a break for a moment so we can call the final few moments of action on this game. This is the Syndicate Poker Club playing live free poker at PokerNow.club, a free-to-play poker site. PokerNow.club. The Syndicate PokerNow, or sorry, SyndicatePokerClub.com. Table 2, Game 8, Dominion Run, the final qualifier. Well, that will, whoa, jeez, that was a hot mic right there. That will do Neon in on that one, and that will give Marta the chip lead. Building back better like nobody's fucking business right there, as we are pretty much dead even on chip stacks here, so we have a brand new heads-up game right here from the get-go, as Neon will take a third-place exit. Gaining him 13 points on the game. And here's your all-in from Godly with a 0% chance. So that will do it. The game is over. Godly will take a second place finish. Marta will win and absolutely build back better like nobody's fucking business. Unbelievable game with lots of twists and turns. That will do in Game 8 of the Syndicate's Dominion Run. We are getting our leaderboard up for you here in just a second here. So just hold tight with me because we did not expect it to go quite that quick right there at the end. And we will give you that final 10 standing here for the series so that everybody knows where everybody stands. Anyway, there we go. So Marta wins with first place, taking down game number 8, defending the first place that Marta had pretty much the entire series. Godley coming up and finishing second in this game after pretty much dominating the entire game. Neon finishing out third. And we lost our leaderboard. Where did that leaderboard go? It went over here. Anyway, finishing out the rest of the board for the game. Jam Rock and Roll in fourth. Quadzilla fifth. Lyriella sixth. Seventh for Casely. Millie went out in eighth. JP surrendered in ninth place. Forking Acehole comes out in 10th. Freak Child 11th. Boss 12th. No Fold Frank. Biggie Large. And Molly Mary rounding out the last three of this field of 15 on 2 tables tonight. So that's where we were at for this game. However, your question is, what actually happened with the series? Well, here's what it was. Marta came out in first, Quadzilla in second, Lyrialis in third. Godley scooted up with this win up into fourth. Casely will go fifth. Jam Rock and Roll will go sixth. Millie, by the skin of her teeth, makes the final table in seventh, knocking Forking Acehole, Molly Mary, Biggie Large down out of that top spot where they started out at the beginning of this game. So there's your final table in blue, and you will see the 7 of them battle it out for the crown next week, right here on Dominion Run Game Final Table. Same bat time, same bat channel. They just got 10 grand in chips to bet this time. Until then, we will see you on the next game of whatever. Make sure to like, subscribe, do whatever it is to get those notifications so that we can tell you when the next broadcast is. Until then, this is the voice of mystery telling you absolutely nothing, because I don't care. Good night, all.